That's a lounge lip box. Solitaires, all I do is big rocks. I came from dealing all the way to hit shot.
Go. An Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Protests are expected outside Chicago City Hall over redevelopment plans for the shuttered Ford City Mall to turn it into an industrial complex. 18th Ward Alderman Derek Curtis supports the proposal.
We want someone to come that will benefit, that will put Ford City right back on our tax rolls.
Opponents are concerned about pollution, noise, and traffic. The CDC's new director, Dr. Erica Schwartz, acknowledged staffing shortages and employee burnout during her first meeting with the agency workers. Schwartz, who is Black, pledged to rebuild morale, address operational challenges, and support success-driven public health efforts. And Mary J. Blige is opening up about love, life, and family in a conversation with former First Lady Michelle Obama on her IMO podcast. The R&B icon discussed her decision not to have children, the value of close friendships, and balancing her personal life with her Las Vegas residency. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Watch us on Facebook Live. Then hear us on WBOK1230.com.
Late nights in New Orleans. Some voices entertain the city. Some voices changing. You already know who on the air tonight. Gerod. Gerard on the radio. Whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerard on the radio. Truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store. Whole city locked in. French Quarter nights with the rain coming down. Whole city talk, but the truth stay underground. Funny how the silence break whenever he speak. Certain conversations never make the TV. Voice through the speakers got the whole city tuned. Higher ups nervous every time he hit the room. Cause he say what the people been feeling for years. Bringing light to the stories they don't want us to hear. From the uptown lights to the night war pain. Every word hit different when it cut through the rain. Everybody know the truth, you never said aloud. Till Gerard hit the airwaves and it shook the whole town. And the streets keep calling through the static in the night. Every word feel different when Gerard go live. Gerard on the radio. Whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerard on the radio. Truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store. Whole city locked in. Streetcars roll while the city stay awake. Everybody got a story, everybody got a way. Funny how the phones go quiet when he name names. Funny how the pressure rise when he shift the conversation. He talks schools, streets, money disappearing. Backdoor deals that the public ain't hearing. Things get buried when the cameras don't roll, but the people tune in cause Gerard let it unfold. From the jazz in the streets to the smoke in the sky. The Orleans still fighting, still holding it high. And the city feels seen every time that he speak. Cause the truth hit harder when it finally run deep. Now the whole town riding with the station on loud. Hands high while they sing every word through the crowd. Can you feel the city breathing? Every late night conversation. Through the speakers, through the rain. Ooh, New Orleans, don't sound the same. Gerard on the radio. Whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerard on the radio. Truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets voice they couldn't silence. New Orleans, stand up.
Whoa, now. Yeah, the remix. There it is. You heard what he said?
What he said?
Was that the 12-inch version?
We like that 12-inch version.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm
bumping.
talking about. That's
It
what I'm
gives
talking
us
about.
time to get in here, get straight, jam a little bit, then hit the radio.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to Friday. It is the beginning of the weekend. This is Gerard Steves, and of course, we've got the extraordinary one in the building, y'all. Suzette McNaris is in the building.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We made it till Friday.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
We got here. Oh, it was a hard week, but we got here.
You know, yesterday, because of the fact that, and we appreciate that he stopped by yesterday with having a great conversation for the first for our 2 hours on the air with Wendell Pierce, who joined us, who's also going to be a part of the extraordinary
Premiere of They Fight.
premiere of They Fight, and that is on tomorrow at the Orpheum Theater. So hoping everybody goes online and gets those tickets. It's absolutely free.
We will be in attendance
Yep, we're gonna be
supporting
there.
Wendell.
And hopefully everybody else will be there too. And as a special treat after the premiere of the film, they're going to come out and engage you. They're going to have a question and answer session after the film. So that's interesting. That's going to be good. So hopefully we'll see you at the Orpheum Theater tomorrow. Get your tickets online, okay? And make sure you get them because it starts at 7:00. We're going to be out there for the red carpet as well. So we'll be out
Absolutely.
there.
And you have an event earlier that day.
Yes. We are going to be a part of the NICU. For those of you that don't know, in Louisiana, our African-American women have a very hard time with birth, prenatal, and also getting the help that they need to have these babies. So we have a lot of miscarriages. We have a lot of premature babies being born. So we want to make sure that we help out too. Our good friend, Dr. Michelle, is going to be putting on, I think, her 5th or her 6th one this year. I got to ask her, where she does this big raising of monies and letting you know what's going on. And you hear it's a lot of clinics in there because it's a lot of crying, hearing the stories of women that had to go through such debilitating issues trying to have a family.
Well, you know, in the United States, Black women face an urgent maternal health crisis. They are roughly 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. Over 80% of these deaths are preventable, and the stark disparities persist across all income and education levels.
Mm-hmm.
Despite my daughter being a physician at the very hospital she gave birth, I mean, we had quite an experience with the physicians not listening to her and not meeting her needs. And thank God, family was there to advocate for her so that we could get an attending to come in there to turn the situation around. You know, it's a very serious situation, and I'm very happy that Dr. Michelle Cooper has undertaken this. This is a very important thing she's trying to do, and we need to go out and support her effort.
Yep. We're going to call her up at some point in time today and see if we can get her to at least, give us some insight too. I'm going to be I've been a part of it for its inception. And I told her that she never had to worry about, unless I move on the other side of the world or I just can't get out of the bed if something else happens. And God knows we don't want that either. I told her I'd always be a part of it. This year, though, was special because of the fact that she had so many women that said yes, that they wanted to be a part of it. The theme is they know their assignment, and all the women that were a part of it were a part of the panels. They get the awards. They were supposed to be the MCs, but our good friend Gina Swanson was named the MC this year, which was my role, which I don't have a problem with. I told her I'd support her any other way, but God bless Gina because she lost her mother. So I told Michelle that I would come back and take her place.
So you're stepping up, as you always do. And I appreciate that because Black maternal mortality is the elephant in the room. It really is.
So I'll be there tomorrow. Hopefully I get a chance to shake some hands and kiss some babies because they bring the babies that got the help They bring the babies so that you'll get a chance to see who they are. So we hope to see you tomorrow. That is going to happen at the Hyatt. Make sure you get tickets for that as well. So, and then next week, make sure you get your tickets for the NAACP President Legacy Award Breakfast, which is happening at the Hilton. I'll be your MC for that too. We'll both be there. So hopefully we will see you there for that. We busy.
We're very busy. We booked and busy, but we're happy to be of service.
Yeah.
So
I got to say this before we go on, because you're going to laugh and you're going to agree. Ladies and gentlemen, as much of a joke that this may sound like, I want you to know that we serious. I figured out yesterday, along with my compadre, that we ain't running nothing around here. We went to the Flood Authority meeting.
Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority meeting.
Yeah. And I was blown away. I got an opportunity because you were in court at the time to speak on behalf of Chief Rondino, and then sat there and listened. That's important. And you talk about money. Their budget is $40 million. And they were talking about how much money they spent, which was 10.
I need to set the stage. You have to understand that
We ain't in the building.
we're not in the building. We're not at the table. We're not a part of the discussion.
Nope.
But our money is being spent. So there's an entire board with only one black member on the board.
Yep.
And there are no women on this board. This
Nope.
is an entirely all white male board, save for one member. The regional representative for the authority is not even allowed in the room while they are deliberating when they go into executive session, and he has no votes.
Nope.
He is black. He is not allowed in the room. So we watched all of this play out.
Can I give you the laugh?
Yeah, give me the laugh. Give me the Biff laugh. Because we heard the Biff laugh a lot. The Biff laugh has made a lot.
Oh,
What do you think, Jeff? What do you
Mr.
think,
President,
Biff?
you're a funny.
You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. It was really an interesting situation. And it saddens me because not even in the audience, in attendance at the meeting,
We were
to
only
even
two.
give public comment, there were no black people in the room except for Gerod and I.
And what they had? No, they had another one. Oh, I'm sorry. He was the maintenance guy. Sitting right beside us.
Right, the maintenance guy. Exactly. That was it. So it's really sad. Biff, that was really funny. What do you think, Jeff? What do you think, Biff?
So this was a wake-up call to know that you got an agency that replaced the current chief of police, who was Mr. Rondino, with this current guy that came straight from
The AG's, office, Criminal Investigation Unit. So
Yes.
I do want to talk about that. First of all, this is one of those instances where I'm going to warn you to look beyond the press release, question the official narrative, and follow the facts where they actually lead.
You're funny, Biff.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Before I begin this discussion, I want to make a disclosure. I do represent former Orleans Levy District Police Chief and Superintendent Joshua Rondino in pending litigation against the Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority East.
They have no idea what's coming. Go ahead.
Because of that representation, I am very familiar with the documents, the reports, the internal communications, and events that have not been fairly or completely presented in much of the public reporting. Gerod and I were sitting in the audience yesterday when they flashed on the screen that there is an entire media initiative targeted to creating spin with regard to the Rondino lawsuit.
A media explosion. They didn't expect us to be there.
They didn't expect us to be there. And so they actually had it on the screen that is a media initiative just to attack the lawsuit, just to put enough spin out there. So there is one of those spin stories in the paper today, and I just want you to be aware of it. I'm not asking our listeners to accept Chief Rondino's position simply because I represent him. I'm asking you to examine the complete record before accepting the agency's public narrative. And the public has been given a very simple narrative. Mm-hmm. We are told by CEFLA that Chief Rondino created turmoil. We are told that he drafted his own employment contract containing an extraordinary severance provision. We are told that he responded to a female officer's Instagram post with the fire emoji. We are told that the agency investigated him, fired him, and replaced him with Joseph Piccone, a law enforcement veteran whom former District Attorney Leon Carazano described as a cop's cop. That is the story that's being promoted by CEFLA, but that is not the complete story. The public has heard a great deal about a draft contract. It has heard very little about what Chief Rondino discovered after he was placed in charge of the Orleans and East Jefferson Levee District Police Departments. The public has not heard that story, and so I just want to share a little bit of it with you. Our position is that Chief Rondino's termination cannot be understood without examining the problems that he exposed and the practices that he attempted to change. Mm-hmm. Chief Rondino reported that as many as 16 officers, 12 in the East Jefferson area and 4 in Orleans, may have been exercising police authority without valid commissions. That's not a minor paperwork issue. If an officer lacks lawful authority, the arrests that he makes are no good. The citations that he issues, the warrants that he requested, and the court proceedings are no good. They are unconstitutional for the citizens who were stopped, detained, or arrested. So he was letting them know they have potential civil liability for all of those citizens whose constitutional rights were violated.
So let's break that down in layman's terms real quick, because you did say it in clear to me because of the fact that I'm inside. But for the average person that's listening right now, what Suzette just stated was that you had police officers, or should I say men acting as police officers, had no police powers because they did not have their police commission.
I'm going to break it down. When they're harassing black folk on the black side and issuing citations and giving them warrants for their arrests and making them having to go to court proceedings and arresting them, they had no lawful authority to do so.
They might have been driving the vehicles, which is actually against the law. You cannot have a police vehicle with a verbiage on the side of that vehicle that says law enforcement at any given time with blue lights and not have a police commission.
So Chief Rondino exposed that practice and then sent those officers to the state to get the proper commissions. The other thing he did was that he raised concerns about racial disparities in hiring, promotions, classifications, compensation, and access to premium pay among all employees. They were basically paying the white officers far more money than they were paying the black officers.
And then had the guy saying that the black folks that were working there to cut the grass should be calling him the overseer.
Correct. So Chief Rondino questioned the payroll and the overtime expenditures. He questioned the racial disparities. He shined a light on it, and he equaled the pay among the black and the white officers. For the first time in the history of the agency, he sent the black officers to the academy to get more training to be able to compete in terms of pay. Before that, only white officers had the opportunity to go to the academy. So he started raising these racial issues, and the powers that be did not like it. He also started investigating payments that were being made to outside vendors that were being selected by state senators, by the way, without adequate proof that the work that they claimed had actually been performed. He examined approximately 50 to 60 vacancies, dozens of agency-owned tractors or pieces of grass-cutting equipment, and an outside grass maintenance contract that he believed could be changed or terminated to save the public more than $400,000 annually. And that angered a lot of people in Baton Rouge who pushed for those contracts. He examined approximately 23 pending at-fault claims and sought greater accountability for the use of agency vehicles. He introduced GPS-based accountability and compared GPS information against employee trip sheets and reported work activity. So he basically was trying to shine a light on things that were wrong within the agency. And because of it, and because he reported these things to the AG's office, the AG had an outside law firm to do a report on it. And the day after they issued the report, which left the majority of these issues out of it, they terminated the chief.
Yep. I don't think you should tell everything.
I'm just telling a little bit of it because I want to start pointing out.
You got so much.
I got so much on him. I just want to start pointing out, though, that the spin is beginning in the media on other stations. And I don't want you to just believe what they're saying on those stations because it is a targeted media effort by CEFLA to try to spin this case against this black officer.
And I took a photo of that post they put on that TV screen. So I just want them to know that we do have that. All right, Noon.
Rod, how y'all doing?
Man, how you doing?
Man, God is good. God is good. I'm back
sounding
on.
stronger. You sounding stronger. You are sounding stronger.
Still doing what you said, but I just wanted to come on here and sort of bring bad news. Mr. Jerome Smith died today.
No.
City.
What?
Yeah, it just happened. It just happened like an hour ago. I think 30 minutes ago. Jerome meant so much. That's like my teacher, my mentor. So I just wanted to get on here and let y'all know that because I'm going back to rest, Gerod, because I don't want to get in trouble with you and Suzette.
Yes.
But I just wanted y'all to know one of the icons passed today.
Oh, man. Boy, this city ain't going to be the same. This city is not going to be the same.
Tomorrow we are bearing another icon from Huntersville named Miss Eva. One of them that come off the field. We got her at Tremita tomorrow, but I wanted everybody to know, because Jerome meant a lot to me and others, and the work I do is Jerome work, and we're going to keep on pushing Jerome work. But I just want everybody to pray for his family, pray for, the community, the friends, the kids he had raised, and I wanted just to get on here and tell y'all that.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I'm shocked. I am shocked.
I'm shocked. We really appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, I was shocked, and I said, how I'm going to get on here, because I'm going to hear Gerard mouth and Suzette mouth about take my rest. So I've been taking y'all advice, so I'm up here just resting, and I'm doing good, got a good doctor report, and I want to thank you, Gerard, Suzette, Jeff, and a lot of people, community people that, prayed for me and cared much about me, because a lot of people don't know when you're doing this work, you got to take care of yourself. Yeah. So I want to thank y'all for that.
Hey, man, get you some more rest. I know
thank y'all.
That's something hard to digest right now, but just know Noonan, he's in a better place.
Thank y'all so much.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
I wasn't expecting that one.
No.
Not at all. Not at all.
We got to take the break, y'all. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. More in just a minute, right here on WBOK.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do every Monday. It's Moving Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to
all day long.
Did you hear the news? Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom has a new time. Catch us now every Wednesday at noon. Same program, same great conversations. Just a new time. So catch Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom this Wednesday and every Wednesday only on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
What if you could pull up a chair at the same table as your doctors? Join me, Kimber White Dupree, as I welcome board-certified physicians Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlonda Rayno Harris. For Table Rounds, we're bringing those meaningful medical conversations out of the hospital and into our community. Health topics that matter most, from the health disparities and menopause to mental health and much more. Table Rounds with Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlonda Rayno Harris. Every fourth Monday at 10 a.m. on the front porch, because better conversations lead to better health.
New Orleans is built to host, and at the New Orleans Ernest and Memorial Convention Center, it is where big ideas, major events, and careers come together under one roof. As the 6th largest convention center in the country with a team recognized as a national top workplace, we are proud to power the events that keep our city moving forward. Our staff of more than 450 brings nearly 3,900 years of combined experience, an average of almost 9 years each. If you're looking for a robust benefits package, career stability, and opportunity, visit mccno.com to explore open positions today.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Breaking news just hitting the WBOK airwaves, unfortunately, and we appreciate Noonie for giving us the insight here, but unfortunate for those who have known him, who have seen him, and he is a big voice in a small city. Ladies and gentlemen, they are announcing the death of the passing of one of the icons here, Big Duck. You never think that he's ever going to leave anywhere. No. Vital to the Freedom Riders, vital to our Treme Center, vital to the city of New Orleans. Jerome Smith passing away today. So we'll give you some more details of that and also start looking into what's going on and get some other reports as well. All right, let's get back to the conversation here. 504-582-9422 is the number to get in contact with us. As you heard, we went to that meeting yesterday. That meeting seemed to be, we don't care nothing about y'all. We don't even care that you here.
Although they did meet for an hour and a half just to discuss my presence in the case that we filed.
Your presence?
Yeah, my presence. You know how they say your name is being spoken in rooms that your feet have never entered? Well, that was the experience we had yesterday with regard to the lawsuit that we filed on behalf of Chief Rondino. But what yesterday showed me, Gerard, was a bigger picture. We're not on these boards. We're not going to these important board meetings that's really making decisions. Right. That's really making decisions about how city money is being spent. Mm-hmm. We don't even know what's going on.
To hear that their budget was $40 million and to say that they only spent 10.
And they have no lights on the black side of the lake. Mm. They don't upkeep the things on the black side of the lake. I mean, there's issues here where money could be being spent that is not being spent.
Vehicles.
We have got to get more involved. Mm-hmm. That's what I learned yesterday. We've got to start going to sit at some of these city council meetings, some of these subcommittee meetings, some of these board meetings. We're not at the table, but we're on the menu.
Is that the laugh?
That was the laugh from yesterday.
I was like, why is it so funny? I wish I could tell you all the words that my co-hosts make up.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though that, it wasn't funny, it was funny. Because it was true.
And the fix was in. Okay, I need you to understand. The new chief is from the Attorney General's office in Baton Rouge, where he was a criminal investigator.
Mm-hmm.
A.G. Merrill's office. He's a Landry pick. Canizero comes to swear him in along with the Department of the Treasury guy from Baton Rouge.
Department of Revenue.
Okay, Department of Revenue guy from Baton Rouge. You need to understand that Baton Rouge is slowly taking over New Orleans and all of the important boards in New Orleans.
Yep.
Jeff has his hand in all of these boards, controlling all of the money here in New Orleans.
Yep. And all we doing is second lining. Where we going? We're not going to the meeting. What we doing? Shucking and jiving? Because none of us were in that meeting. And every time they took a vote, all you heard was, aye. The measure has passed. And we're not involved. Contracts.
And just to be clear, on the vote for Chief Rondino, the black member abstained. A white member voted no, and the rest of the white members voted yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to sit there to see how the vote would go down. Now, you're the only brother on the board. You abstain? What's that about? What's that about?
Scared to say no? Scared to say no. But it is what it is.
So you're at the table and you have no real voice. We got to do better.
Yep. So we need to start showing up at these meetings, these board meetings, and maybe see when we're gonna start changing some of these boards, because I think that's the key, changing some of these boards. But anyway, let's move to our next one.
You sound excited to move to the next one.
Not me. I'm trying to hold it. You ain't giving me the opportunity.
Go ahead, introduce your topic.
What I
you
told
want me to introduce your topic?
Yes, that's your topic.
I'm letting you introduce the topic.
No, because you told me I'm too hard. I'm too hard. All I got to say is, I ain't even going to sing the song. I'm not even going to sing the song. Go ahead.
He's going to sing the song. He can't help himself.
I'm not.
So we're now turning to the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. That should come as no surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Over a short period, we have learned about 3 serious incidents. First, Dwee Wynn was transported to criminal district court and allegedly left inside the courthouse in a holding cell overnight. He ended up getting a sleepover that he did not intend to get. He didn't bring his PJs. Baby. He didn't bring his blankie. He didn't bring his teddy bear, but he was left there overnight.
They left him in the holding cell in the courthouse. They didn't go back and get him. What was the song we were singing before? What was the song?
I don't know. Was it I Want to Be Free?
I want to be free. Yes, I am. Oh, girl. I want to be free. You had no food, no change of clothes, no medical treatment. We're going to just let you stay here. You might as well have just put on the uniform and been the bailiff that day.
They left the man at court.
In the holding cell.
Mr. Wynn was transported from the Orleans Justice Center for a scheduled court appearance. Court records reportedly indicate he did not appear. You would think somebody would realize when he did not appear that there might be a problem. But he was inside the courthouse. The government transported him. The government placed him in a secured holding cell. The government controlled whether he could leave. Yet he apparently missed his court date, and the courthouse transport returned to the jail without him.
I want to be free, girl.
It was not until the following morning's head count.
Yes, I am.
Which meant they did no head count overnight.
You were not counted.
That the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office discovered that he was not in his assigned housing unit.
Not until the next day.
So they didn't count overnight.
I want to be free, girl. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, girl.
Where was the transport manifest? Who compared the names of the people returning to the jail against the names of those who left? Was the judge incorrectly told that Wynn refused to appear or was unavailable? Was his attorney notified that they lost him? Could the missed appearance have delayed an expected release for time served? Did Wynn have food, water, medication, sanitation, a way to call for help overnight? A medical examination and a meal after he was found were appropriate, but they don't explain why he was forgotten. How did you lose him?
Hold on a minute. Hello. Can I speak to Mr. Wynn? Is you okay? Can you sing us the song? No, not that song. You okay? Did you get you something to eat? You did? Okay. Did you get your medicine? Did you get a chance to change your drawers? And you still singing, I want to be free, girl. Oh, throw your hand up in the air. One foot. She's looking at me, so I just wanted to make sure you was all right. Okay.
I'm happy you checked on Mr. Wynn because nobody at the sheriff's office checked on him. He was out there on his own. So, here's another story for you. Just happened.
What?
A man incarcerated at the Orleans Parish Jail jumped off a second-floor mezzanine in an apparent suicide attempt on Thursday afternoon. The man, who was assigned to the Orleans Justice Center housing unit, walked along the mezzanine, climbed onto a chair, and then threw himself over the railing.
Now, we have had this conversation. And if you go back and look at the report that was on Channel 4 when they did the report about how unsafe that jail was, and Susan walked the reporter from Channel 4 around, said one of the things we need to get is a mesh cloth. It's a mesh, that goes from the ceiling to the railing on the second floor so that nobody can jump over that railing because the floors are stone. That's one of the things that we need to be able to do to stop suicides. People jumping off the second floor, and we just need to tell them to get us the mesh guard, so that won't happen. They looked at her like she was crazy when she went to the mezzanine and sat there and talked to him. No, we're not going to get that.
Well, the sheriff's office is saying that the entire incident was captured on surveillance cameras.
Mm-hmm.
After other incarcerated men alerted security. Now, that is a very important statement, too.
Mm-hmm.
After other incarcerated men alerted security.
Now,
why are they alerting security? Then the medical staff responded to the scene to administer aid.
So who was the guard on duty that's sitting in the little pod that's supposed to be looking at these young men walking around and watching the videos, because they got the videos in front of them? So you try to tell me that they didn't see that, but the guard never said anything to anybody else because she didn't see it, or he didn't see it?
Other incarcerated men had to let them know who is watching. The injured man was then transported to the hospital for treatment. We don't know what's happened to him since then, but that's where we are. Now, you would think that given what I just told you, Michelle Woodfolk has her hands full. But instead of her focusing on her own problems, she is opening an investigation into a Christmas night in 2024 incident that occurred on Susan Hudson's watch. Girl, you got enough going on your own damn watch. Why are you trying to go back and investigate something that happened on Christmas night in 2024 with regard to an alleged sexual assault in the prison under Susan's watch, when you got people you leaving behind in a cell at the courthouse, you got people sneaking through the gate, and you got people jumping off the second floor mezzanine? You got enough on your own plate.
I want to be free, girl. Yes, I am. And I just got to be free. Come on, sing along. Free. I can't get that note. Can you get that note? You can't get that note?
I can't get that note. But, I'm just saying, following each incident, Chief Woodfork's team, her media team, is saying that the matter is under investigation. The matter is under investigation. Under investigation cannot become a phrase used until public attention moves elsewhere. And who's conducting the investigation into the foolery going on your watch?
And I just got to be free.
You want to worry about what happened when Susan was in charge. We worry about what's going on while you in charge right now, girl. What are you doing? You have enough going on. So I'm going to tell you this, as my grandmother would say. Mind your own. Mind your own business. Handle your own business. And stop trying to cast blame on your predecessor and talk about things that happened while your predecessor was there when you have enough going on your watch.
So why open up another investigation on something that's already been investigated?
I have no idea, because you're trying to shift the focus. You're trying to play a shell game. You don't want people to watch what's going on right now in front of their face. You want to talk about something that happened on somebody else's watch because you don't want people to focus on what's happening on your watch.
And this is like the third thing in 3 weeks? At least?
At least the third thing.
So you had somebody that died.
And keep this in mind. These are things coming to light.
So you had somebody that died. You got this man that then jumped off and committed suicide.
Yeah, somebody got shanked, remember?
Got somebody that got shanked.
Somebody that slipped through the gate.
Somebody that's on the salad port.
Garbage can. The man in the garbage can.
On the salad port.
Right.
And now you got this one. So that's 4 or 5 things in what? 3 weeks?
Which leads me to ask, does the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office have operational control of the Orleans Justice Center and its courthouse transportation system?
But you know who's in charge of the pods?
Who, Gerard?
The OGs. I'm serious. The OGs are the one. We can think that the deputies and all the folks are in charge, but it's the OGs that's in that prison that are in charge, that's running these floors.
Seems to me she needs to get operational control of the Orleans Justice Center, and she needs to really look at her courthouse transportation system because it's sucking right now. Operational control means knowing in real time who is inside every housing unit, who has been transported to court, who is inside every courthouse holding cell, who has appeared before the judge, who is returned to the jail, who is awaiting release, who requires medication, who is watching these people, who is watching the people in the jail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and stop trying to cast blame on other people when you have enough going on your own watch.
All right, we got to take the break. Let's take the break. Patrick, hold on. We're going to come right back, have some more conversation in just a few minutes here. We're going to take a break, y'all. Get your calls in, 504-582-9790. 9422. More next.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
What's up, gang? This is DJ Wick, and I would like to invite you to join me this Sunday night for the Throwback Throwdown, 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM and on KKNO 750 AM and 107.1 FM, as I have a very special show this Sunday to salute the man himself, Barry Richards, the Rizar, as he has passed on and gained his wings. I'm rebroadcasting the very first interview of the Throwback Throwdown with the Rizar as our special guest. Join us this Sunday night for the Throwback Throwdown with yours truly, DJ Wick, 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM and KKNO 750 AM, 107.1 FM.
Extended through Labor Day, Louisiana residents get half off general admission to the National World War II Museum. Take advantage of 50% off and beat the summer heat at New Orleans' #1 attraction. Don't wait. Plan your visit at nationalworldwar2museum.org.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 1230 a.m. See you on Saturday.
Hi, my name is Shirley Simon. I am Dr. Brenda Jackson.
Hello, my name is Linda Payson.
We are all members of the NAACP New Orleans branch, and we would like to invite you to our President's Legacy Breakfast.
The President's Legacy Breakfast will be held on Saturday, August 29th, 8:30 a.m. at the Hilton Riverside Hotel.
Get your tickets today at eventbrite.com for $100 or call the NAACP at 504-434-8965.
If someone asks,
Yeah!
let them know you listen to WBOK. Here we go! The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, right back at you. Our number, 504-582-9422. What you say, Patrick? Patrick?
Hello.
How you doing?
Okay, I wanted to express my disagreement with some of what y'all been discussing recently, and that is the prior sheriff in the aftermath of that nationwide scene debacle of the jailbreak of I forget when it was exactly, but anyway, she was passing a buck on other people. She was passing a buck on, at least verbally, I'm saying, by blaming others, saying there are deficiencies in the construction of the jail, and that was done before me. And these inconsistencies, apparently the craftspersons that were doing the job for whatever construction companies were doing the jobs back then, apparently they were all haphazard, not using a level tool or anything. The locksmiths must have been all messed up. No, that's not the reality. All those people didn't have any, maintenance of a building is one thing, but its original construction is another. And the original construction, it should have been locked at every point, right? That's what we want. But yeah, the prior person needed to go because she was not being honest about all sorts of stuff.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. And that is, when you start looking at this building, how much research did you do on it?
Okay, well, I'm not going to say I'm not an engineer in terms of...
So it's just an opinion then. So, right.
Well, no, not necessarily, because I've not been inside of the building before either. I've done a lot of engineering-related work, maintenance. I've been in the service, and I was in the engineering field there. My point being that trying to say that the construction that took place was deficient is saying that the personnel that were doing the construction were deficient in their effort.
Absolutely.
And we agree with that. As a matter of fact, the federal monitors that Judge Afric has put on this have confirmed that there are construction problems at the jail that were a problem under Susan Hudson's administration and continue to be a problem today under Michelle Woodfork's administration. Now, one of the things we have been stating over and over again consistently over the last 6 months since Michelle has taken over is that she should not continue to blame her predecessor when her predecessor was dealing with the same problems that she is finding under her own administration. What we have been saying consistently, and it's confirmed by the federal monitor's reports, is that Susan Hudson was dealing with some severe problems at the jail in terms of overcrowding, not having enough funding, not having enough staffing, defective construction in the jail, which causes security breaches. And Michelle Woodfork has inherited those problems, and she has them too. So what we were trying to say with respect to Michelle Woodfork is stop putting blame on your predecessor. She had the same situation that you have now inherited. So when you are casting blame on her and calling her incompetent, people were also going to end up calling you incompetent because the same problems that have existed under the Hudson administration are recurring under the Woodfork administration because the situations cannot be addressed unless there's an influx of money into the jail to remedy the problem. So basically, Patrick, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
So one of the things, Patrick, I can take those two ladies and set them aside, whether it's Michelle or whether it's Susan. Set them aside. You know who I blame? If I had to sit here and really say who and what I blame our city council.
Absolutely.
Because the folks that we're depending on to keep us safe said that we had a number that we're supposed to look at is the number of folks that are in that jail. That's number one. And we're over it. We are way over it. I think it's somewhere in there 800-900, and we're 1,400 now. The other part of that I would look at is we spent over $100 million to build that jail, and we just signed off on it and didn't really take care of the maintenance on it and won't give another budget to take care of that maintenance. I'm telling you, the water system is terrible. I'm not surprised that somebody got out. They're still getting out. And then, of course, the number of dollars that we're paying these folks that are supposed to be looking over them. We're in a really bad situation. So whether we shift blame, save blame, you have your thoughts. We have ours. I understand. And I'm not saying you're wrong. But I will say my piece, too.
Well, I'm just saying that these things are confirmed in the federal court record, in the reports done by the federal monitor, and those findings relate to both administrations.
Okay. But we're not trying to make Patrick think any other thing.
I'm just saying. I want to be fair about that. So the Comprehensive Compliance Report number 20, issued in October 2024, and the new report, that 19, issued in April 2024, all state that these situations with the housing units that were routinely left without direct supervision, the records that show that that there's inadequacies in the construction, the overcrowding, all of that has been confirmed by the federal monitors. And what we're telling Michelle is, stop blaming your predecessor. You've got the same problems.
Because some of that name calling and calling folks out of their name, whatever that is, Patrick, it's not necessary. Nobody's perfect. We're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, but they need money over there. Yeah. They're not going to be able to address these problems until they get money.
Where are you calling from, man?
Orleans.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Yeah, be blessed.
All right, you too, brother. Shadrach.
Hello, happy Friday. Gerard, you hit it dead on the head. Per state statute, it is the responsibility of the
city council,
the city council to give adequate funding.
Yes.
What I heard the former sheriff say on all news media platforms when they gave her the opportunity, because the only one that she had the open mic was this channel, this station right here. She asked for money. She laid out everything that was going wrong with the jail before the mass breakout. So let's put that out there. The problems that we constantly have, firefighters, trash, legislative order in our business order, all that started under the last administration, the city council, whom are the mayor, the CAO, and the city council president at large. And we still have other members on this current council that sat on that last council. So when we're placing blame, put it where it needs to be. The legislative branch of government in Orleans Parish has failed us and is failing us. Let a spade be a spade. Rest in peace, Jerome Smith. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right, Sid.
And I didn't even mention one of the incidents that on July 27th of 2026, a 40-year-old Salud Thiem was found unresponsive in his cell. He has died in custody at the Orleans Justice Center in New Orleans. Life-saving measures failed. His official cause of death remains under investigation. He was discovered at 6:30 a.m. during routine security rounds in Housing Unit E on the second floor, same floor as the person jumped from, right? I mean, it's just, these things are continuing to occur. So, we need to start focusing on the problems instead of blame shifting to a prior administration. And the city council is going to have to find some money to address these issues, or they're going to continue to occur, even under Sheriff Michelle Woodfork's watch.
I mean, that jail is something, 15 years old, maybe? And you got to understand something. Those folks that's in there, this ain't no daycare. This ain't no R&B, what do you call those things when you go what do you call them when you go on the vacation? This ain't no holiday. There are some hard criminals. And all they do all day long is think about how they can get out and how they going to mess with them guards. That's what they do all day long. So the previous administration cut down, and I don't know why this is not talked about, but I do know why it's not talked about, tried to figure out ways to cut down the incidents that would happen in that jail. And that was those tablets. But those tablets were monitored. I can remember going in and looking in the computer and seeing how they were monitored. They were monitored and what they could say. And at least once or twice a week, they could also FaceTime with their loved one instead of going through that phone system. Now, if you know, like I know, to go to that phone and make that collect call, you would get that recorded issue saying, this is collect call. And they say it's a collect call. Those calls start at $4 and $5. I can't talk to you but about 3 or 4 minutes, and you think about 800 or 900 of them being made per day. Somebody was making a whole bunch of money, and she wanted to cut that out, so she let them do FaceTime on those tablets to cut down on the families having to pay for those collect calls. So it made somebody mad because she cut the contract out. So we'll take the break here. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation with you in just a minute. So get your calls in at 504-582-9422. We're coming up next.
Campus of Xavier University. WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Questions remain after a 19-year-old was found dead inside a Staten Island, New York apartment. Sources say the teen appeared severely malnourished with marks on his wrists and ankles.
I'm wondering how nobody else knew. I live right here. The walls are pretty thin.
Investigators are looking into the circumstances surrounding his death as the medical examiner works to determine a cause. The North Carolina community is mourning the loss of Sheremy Gwinnett Dillard, a respected girls basketball coach who was found stabbed to death in her Raleigh home. Authorities have charged her boyfriend with first-degree murder as the investigation continues. And community activist Mariana Mari Copany, known as Little Miss Flint, is working to recover after supplies for a back-to-school giveaway were destroyed during a break-in at a Michigan storage unit. Copany says she remains committed to helping hundreds of local children and is seeking community support to replace the lost items. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. 504-582-9422 is our number. What you say, Cedric?
Hey, how you doing, Miss Suzette and Brother Gerard? How y'all doing today?
What's going on with you?
We're hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Yeah, rest in power, Brother Jerome Smith, man. That was a beautiful man. I got a question maybe that I hear all the time. Why do they call it the Justice Center? And not only did that in New Orleans, it seemed like they did that around the whole country. They call the jail the Justice Center now. What's up with that?
I mean, that's what it's been called ever since the beginning. So that's what that is.
Does that make it more palatable, like sanitation and garbage? I can't figure that out.
I think that's a good analogy.
That's a good analogy.
I think you just gave a great analogy for it. They think it makes it, it's an institutional rebranding, is what it is. They don't want to call it a jail. They want to call it a justice center because they're trying to say that they're providing humane, rehabilitative, and modern services. They don't want to be considered just holding people without the possibility of rehabilitation. It's definitely branding. It's spin. I tell you what, we're getting so much spin right now. I'm staying dizzy.
and because it's everybody that's in the jail, they're not in prison. They're even waiting to, if I'm right, to go to jail or either to be held for court, right?
The majority of the people there.
Well, understand something about a jail and a prison. People that are in prison they've gone through the rights, tried or pleaded, and they are guilty or assumed to be guilty. Those that are in the jail are innocent until proven guilty. So you got a lot of folks that's in that jail that's been in there for years that still have not been through their court date yet.
And it's the people who can't post bond or for whom the judges didn't give bond.
Yeah.
It's a poverty issue. It's a poverty line issue. The reality is rich people don't sit in the OJC. Rich people with connections call a friend who calls a judge who gets them out on a lawyer's recognizances or gets some sort of bond set for them to get out, or they pay the bond. So, 9 out of 10 people held at the Orleans Justice Center are awaiting disposition of their cases. They have not been found guilty of anything. So out of the 1,250 people currently being held there, 1,113 are just sitting there waiting for disposition because either they didn't get a bond, couldn't afford the bond, and so they have to sit and wait.
Yeah. And that's crazy because think about a person that's innocent that goes in. He may up being guilty of something, get into a fight, or end up killing somebody. He can end up getting more charges in there. You were innocent when you went in. But if you end up, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, one of the things that you got to remember, and a lot of folks don't realize this too, that there is a process before I put you in one of those jail cells. You got to understand something. There's a lot of hate from some folks that are already in that jail. I don't want to be nowhere near the group of guys from Uptown. The Uptown guys don't want to be anywhere near the guys from the West Bank. The West Bank don't want to be anywhere close to Lower 9, and the other folks don't want to be close to Central City. So you got some rivalries already in there, and you got to separate them. You cannot put those guys on the same pods,
Yeah.
and you got to be
Yeah.
conscious of that. So some of that is going to happen too. And then the other thing about the pods is you don't really run anything on those pods. It's the OGs that run those pods.
Yeah. I'm familiar. I've never been, but I know the story.
Okay. All right, my brother. Have a good weekend. Appreciate you.
Y'all too. Thank you.
All right, Val.
Hello.
Val.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
What's going on?
You the man.
No, brother. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. How you doing? I ain't heard from you in a while.
Before I get started, I just want to run some names. Like, if it means nothing to you, then so be it. But I told this gentleman that I was going to say.
Okay.
Jackson Burke.
Say again.
Jackson Burke.
Mm-mm.
JB Wicker, Lee County High, and WG Pierce and WJ Brogdon, Roger. Any of those names mean anything to you? North Carolina?
For North Carolina?
Yeah.
No. What do you mean?
Okay. There's a man that I talked to, he's 90 years old, Mr. John Howard. He was a principal and a school teacher out there in North Carolina.
What part?
But anyway, he lives in Sanford, but he told me all those different names that I heard you mention before in your area.
What part of North Carolina?
He lives in Sanford right now.
Oh, in Sanford. Well, that's one of the places I went to school.
Okay, well, that's why he was principal in different Hillside High. He gave me all the names.
Hillside is in Durham. In Durham. That's one of the places where I went.
Okay, well, yeah. But look, this is what I want to say about the Susan Hudson thing and what's her name, Woodford. When I was working over there, and this is something that's never mentioned, it seemed like it's a new thing right now. When I was working there with 40, some of the same things were happening in that jail.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody held 40 accountable. It wasn't all over the news. It wasn't all over the television or any kind of, anywhere that I know of. And people died. People escaped. I was witness to a lot of different things where somebody was on the daisy chain, I'm going to call it, and he attached himself to it, and he just ran off down the street. That's an escape. Things like that happen in those jails. People, and they fought every single day. And I've taken people to the hospital where they was beat up with a soap in a sock type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is these things are nothing new.
Nope.
And Hudson or Woodfolk, it's your personnel. I've worked with personnel where they tried to help somebody escape out of the federal side.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some very dangerous people working in that jail. But what I don't like, and I'm sorry to say what I'm about to say, I just think y'all picking on Woodfolk too much, and don't let that be a trigger for what I'm saying. I'm just listening. I've been listening for weeks and months and years for the past year. I just don't think it's fair what's going on with the conversation, because I worked there, and there's a difference between working there and working in there. I did work in there, in the federal side and everything else, and I ran across a lot of bad inmates in there. A serial killer by the name of John Brooks. I used to handle him all the time, and you wouldn't want to be around those type of people. But those escapes and all these things. But part of the problem with Susan Hudson, she lost the election, plain and simple. Just like Marlon Guzman lost the election.
Right.
It just goes on and on. But I think it's getting heightened up because of the African Americans that's in charge. But I promise you, anybody listening to me that was there during the time I was there, 40 had the same problems. And I remember they had an inmate in the federal side named Frank Marullo, the same name as the judge, but that wasn't his son. That was his nephew. And I used to take him to Les Bonanno's office. Les Bonanno was the chief deputy or whatever the hell he was at the time. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But he was a big shot at the jail. And I used to take Frank Marullo to his office. And guess why? To get something to eat, special meal. That's a fact. So a lot of these things we're talking about is really about personnel issue. There are a lot of people in the jail that know a lot of people that work at the jail.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around people that I have to really talk to them and not make sure that they don't do nothing stupid like trying to help somebody escape. And it did happen. It did. But you got to blame that on the personnel, and they have a shortage of personnel. We had a real good crew of people back then. Somebody like Barry Hill. We had some real heavy hitters back then. We didn't play with them people, but it's not Susan Hudson folks, and it's not. I keep forgetting her name.
Michelle Woodfolk.
Yeah,
and look, I would agree with you because the dangerous and unconstitutional conditions at the Orleans Parish Jail existed under white leadership long before Susan Hudson and Michelle Woodfolk became sheriff. We know that there was federal litigation that began in 1969 over the conditions in the jail. In 1970, a federal judge described conditions including severe overcrowding, dilapidated buildings, infestation of rats, mites, roaches, and other vermin as shocking to the conscience, right? And this was before Marlon Guzman, Susan Hudson, or Michelle Woodfolk were there.
And I want to get in and tell you that the conditions in the jail was far more worse then than now because of the jail was old at the time. They had people crammed in those jails like you wouldn't imagine. One toilet, I guess it's still like that right now.
You must have been over there by HOD.
It was not. Yeah, HOD, wherever. I mean, it was not a clean situation. There wasn't a situation where oh man, I'm in jail and I'm okay, mine there, whatever it is. It's not.
Nobody's disagreeing with you.
It wasn't that safe for us either.
Right.
I've been in many situations with that, and not only in the jail but outside the jail. When you take some of these people to charity hospitals, you run across people that know them from in the street. Matter of fact, a lot of them get sick or supposedly sick just to go to the jail. I remember hiring somebody called Meatball from the Mets cartel. They tried he played like he fell down on the floor of a West Road, and he go to the hospital to get somebody to help him escape. These are the type of things that these deputies go through, and the jail goes through, and the sheriff or whatever, who really don't have anything to do with it. Michelle Woodfolk is an administrator. She's on the management side. Mm-hmm. She can't be everywhere. It's your personnel. Now, like I said again, I work with a lot of people that not have their mind right. When somebody come in from federal prison, from the U.S. Marshals, and they counting $5,000-$10,000 in cash that these people had on you, sometimes you have to counsel the people that you work with. Say, man, look, don't touch that. Don't touch that. I'm telling you, I've hit around these type of people. Yeah. So what we're talking about is fine, but I don't want that comparison between Woodfolk and Hudson, because Michelle Woodfolk was in campaign mode just like anybody else when they talk about another particular person that they're running against.
So that's cool for you to call people out of their name during that time?
Say that again?
No, I'm saying so it's cool for you, even though you're in campaign mode, to call people out, call them out of their name, and talk about their administration as well?
Anybody that running an election, running for something, not just for the sheriff, and you know for a fact, they call each other name. They talk about them like a dog, and you know that's a fact.
But does that make it right? That's what I'm asking you, though, Val. But does that make it right?
I understand what you're saying. Make it right or make it wrong.
Especially when you go back to your opponents and tell them that I don't want you all talking about me like that. Now, you're saying it about them, but you don't want them to say that about you.
And again, I'm going to say the same thing. When you're in campaign mode and you look at any election coming up or past election, you're going to have that same mentality. Donald Trump.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, it sounds like Trumpism to me.
Well, some people like that, though. Some people like
and some people don't. So, of course, now, let me make myself clear, because you and I disagree, but I still love you. I'm going to talk about I am going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about her. I'm going to talk about anybody else. Because I can tell you that you don't pick up the phone and call. You don't pick up the phone and call no other news entity.
Me?
Yeah, to tell them that they're wrong.
Because you don't.
Which one? Which one?
That is not true.
Which one?
I'm gonna say this. Can I say this? Here's the thing.
I do call, and I do send emails. Matter of fact, I've been emailing the Scoop for the past couple of days. Things I'm like.
Did he answer you?
He answers me sometimes, and actually, I've been on the radio with Scoop having conversations about that.
I'm gonna be very clear here,
Michelle. I mean, can I say something before you say that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is one thing too. Gerod, you used to work with Susan Hudson. So you feel a certain sort of way. Now, I really thought that you were friends with Woodfork too.
I took off
but
for
I
her.
think you
I did.
I think you throw. I think you're throwing too much shade at Woodfork right now.
I am going to, but you don't know the whole story, so I'm not going to explain it to you on the radio.
Well, I think you need to have her on your show, and I would like to hear that.
I'm glad you thought about that, but no, thank you.
So Val, this is what are you finished? Are you finished, Val?
No, I could be. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I want to say to you is that I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think anyone is disagreeing with you that the dangerous and unconstitutional conditions at the jail existed under white leadership long before these two black women became sheriff. Okay. Our point, and I think you're missing it, is that conditions were bad before them and conditions are bad with both of them. So neither one of these two black women should be casting dispersions on the other, because a lot of what is occurring at this jail is beyond their control, which is documented in the Federal Monitor's reports. They cannot control the fact that they don't have enough money in their budgets to hire enough personnel, to train enough personnel, to deal with the deficiencies in the construction in the jail and all the other problems, that the overcrowding and everything else that they're dealing with. So our point has always been, at least my point has always been, I'm going to be very clear, that Michelle had no business criticizing Susan because it was going to come back and bite her in the ass. And guess what? It has. The same things are going on. The same things are going on. And then my additional point is Michelle will never be able to address these problems and correct them unless she receives some sort of funding source. And that was the same problem that Susan had. If they're not going to allocate Susan the money to fix it, and they didn't allocate the money to Michelle to fix it, the problem will still not be fixed when the next person becomes the sheriff, unless somebody gets some money over there to address these problems.
The other thing is that Michelle Woodfork was not the only candidate in that sheriff's race.
No matter who would have won. I don't care who won. Boo-boo the fool could have won and couldn't have fixed it.
That is not my point. My point is they all were throwing at each other, trying to win this election. And Michelle Woodfork won the election. I just think that she's not getting enough respect for what's going on in that particular jail. I don't think so. The jail is relatively new compared to when I was there.
Yeah, they built a new one.
They built a new one, but it has construction defects.
The problem is the construction of it and the personnel that they have.
That's what we just said. And Michelle can't fix.
I'm agreeing with that.
Michelle can't fix a construction defect unless the city council gets her some money to fix the construction defect. And if it's not fixed under Michelle's administration, when your cousin Pookie become the sheriff the next time, he can't fix it either.
But you can't fix personnel. You have the mindset. The people that don't have the correct mindset is a problem.
They don't have enough money to hire enough personnel or to train existing personnel. That is what the Federal Monitor is reporting about.
You can hire 10,000 more. But if those 10,000 have the wrong personality, wrong mindset, then you're not going to correct this escape problem. You're not going to correct this fighting problem. Just like I heard you say, where was the person when something happened in that jail recent or whatever on the quad they didn't see? A lot of these things happen behind the doors in their dormitory rooms. They had the Colombians and the Cubans fighting each other when I was in there. They had all kind of people in there. Actual hitmen that they make movies about. I've seen these people are nothing nice. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't deal with the.
It's a jail. What you think?
You can't deal with the understaffing
without
money.
I can't tell it's a jail when the person that came before her was talking about the residents and they don't want to call it inmates and and then I heard you say something about they wanted to give them tablets to keep them calm.
They
got
did,
kids in
and it
school
took down the incidents at the
kids,
jail 50%.
Okay, but they have kids in school right now that do not have tablets, computerized tablets.
Okay,
they have them. So why give it to an inmate?
To
the
keep
problem
down
is
the incidents that were happening in the jail.
Nobody's addressing on the front end about trying to tell these crazy ass people to stay out of jail. That's why it's crowded, because you keep doing stupid stuff.
They have some people who are over there who are over there wrongfully.
Some they're caught for something that they did.
Correct. Some people are over there due to no fault of their own, awaiting trial. Okay. But the bottom line is, you're saying they need better quality personnel. I agree with you. I agree with you. You're not listening because you're so busy arguing.
Yes, I am.
I agree with
listening.
you. But what I'm telling you is, we're paying people a very low wage, too low a wage, to work over there. We can't train them because we don't have a budget for it. And we can't give them a raise because we don't have a budget for it.
And the only other person that did get them a
Hey,
raise was Susan.
Can I ask y'all one question? This is not all. Can I ask you a question? Do the police officers, the NOPD officers, do they make more than the deputy sheriffs over here in New York?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
They do. Do they have some police officers that get in trouble with all the money that they make?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
So if they make more money than them, then why are they getting in trouble?
I mean, you think him getting in trouble is about the amount of money?
That's a very vague and overly broad question.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not hearing you on that one, brother. I'm surprised you even asked that question.
There are bad people in every walk of life and in every job.
I ain't hearing you on that one, brother. There are CEOs of corporations that are getting in trouble.
And there
because
are lawyers who get in trouble every day.
Yeah, that's a big question.
Money is not the cure. Money is not the cure of this.
It is the cure for understaffing, which is a major problem.
Val, how much money do you think they get paid an hour?
I don't know.
$18.
I have no idea.
$18.
Okay, I don't know. 18.
No,
okay.
I'm telling you.
That's not worth it for risking your life every day.
Yeah. For somebody that could shank you, throw a bowl of doo-doo on you, sit up there and do everything in the world to get rid of you. All they do all day long
the only plug
is to try to figure out how they can mess with you and get out of jail.
That, Gerard.
I understand.
Not in there.
The only corrective measure for understaffing is hiring new people, which you need money to do.
But all right, Val, we got to go.
All right.
Take it easy. All right, we got more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
A 17-year-old boy recently fell to his death at the infamous Plaza Towers high-rise, a blighted structure which has been abandoned since 2002. For whatever reason, the young man was there with friends. No one should be injured or die because a dilapidated building has been empty and neglected for years. My question, what obligation does government have when a privately owned hazard remains standing, unsecured, and dangerous year after year? Jacques St. Anne, a Belle Chase High School student, died after entering Plaza Towers with friends. According to police, the group climbed to an upper floor, and while descending a stairwell with no safety railings, Jacques fell to his death. Another teenager suffered serious lacerations to his arm and wrist. Plaza Towers has a long history of dangerous mishaps. In May 2021, a bicyclist was struck and injured by a piece of material that fell from the skyscraper. In January 2022, firefighters answered a 2-alarm fire at the structure. Investigators discovered multiple points of origin. In January 2023, more debris fell from the tower. In April 2023, firefighters were again called to the building. And the next day, a homeless man fell to his death from the tower. Former Mayor LaToya Cantrell subsequently acknowledged that demolition was being considered. The Inspector General questioned whether the city's response was adequate and pushed for stronger action. Now, to be fair, demolition isn't cheap. Current estimates range around $25 to $28 million, an improbable challenge for a city that's hard-pressed for cash. Meanwhile, city officials are hoping the proposal by the building's owner to develop the high-rise structure into apartments will materialize sometime in 2027. But similar proposals have surfaced and vanished since 2007. The developer may eventually turn Plaza Towers into apartments, and I'd like to see that happen. But a proposal is not a safety plan, and doing nothing to secure a hazardous building is not acceptable. Do we wait to see what the Plaza Tower does when we've waited for him to take action for 24 years? I ask again, what obligation does government have when a privately owned hazard remains standing, unsecured, and dangerous year after year? This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Hi, my name is Shirley Simon.
I am Dr. Brenda Jackson.
Hello, my name is Linda Payson.
We are all members of the NAACP New Orleans branch, and we would like to invite you to our President's Legacy Breakfast.
The President's Legacy Breakfast will be held on Saturday, August 29th, 8:30 a.m. at the Hilton Riverside Hotel.
Get your tickets today at eventbrite.com for $100 or call the NAACP at 504-434-8965.
Hey New Orleans, it's Doc Griggs. Tune in every Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. for Doc Talk and get checked, get fit, get moving.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
New Orleans parents, is your child preparing for the ACT? Top Tutors for Us provides personalized test prep designed for African American students who will connect with tutors who look like them from top HBCUs. Our students receive targeted instruction, consistent practice, and the encouragement they need to raise their scores and compete for college scholarships. Founded right here in New Orleans, our award-winning program was designed with our students in mind. Don't wait until test day. Visit TopTutorsForUs.com and help your child begin preparing today.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Suzette Bagnaris, the attorney extraordinaire, in the building, having some conversation with you. For those of you that are just tuning in and have not heard, our very own Jerome Smith, the freedom fighter himself, Treme Center himself, a very big civil rights icon from New Orleans, has passed. We want everybody to know that our condolences from this radio station stretch very long. So those of you that did not know, make sure that you say a prayer for his family as well. Jerome Smith, the freedom fighter, passes as of today. So let's go into a couple other things, too, because one of the things that...
We're going to let Val put his blood pressure cuff on. And
he'll be all right. Val all right.
He'll be all right.
Val
We'll talk about something else so he can get a minute.
Val and I always had those type of conversations. But
let him catch his breath.
He's a good dude. I like Val.
So you ready to talk about something else?
So, yeah, let's talk about that issue, too.
Norman just talked about a very important issue on his commentary, and that's Plaza Towers. For more than 20 years, this 45-story building has stood vacant on Howard Avenue, looming over downtown New Orleans as a monument to government delay, private neglect, and failed redevelopment promises. We have heard announcement after announcement, potential buyer after potential buyer, a new plan, a purchase agreement, tax credits, affordable housing, senior apartments, a return to commerce. But yet, Plaza Towers is still empty. It is still unsecured enough for people to enter, and parts of its exterior have previously fallen. 2 people have reportedly died in falls from the building since 2023, including a 17-year-old, Jacques St. Anne, just recently in August of 2026. At what point does a redevelopment proposal stop being a solution and become another reason for delaying enforcement. This is a very dangerous situation, okay? Teenagers were starting to break into this building and do these rave kind of parties where they were walking around with flashlights in the dark, exploring. And that's how this 17-year-old lost his life. So, I mean, this is a serious situation. And now we have J.P. Morrell, Mr. Red Slippers, saying that the city, we, the taxpayer, need to pay to demolish this building.
$23 to $30 million. And I have a real issue with that because the man that owned that building before he passed, everybody understood that he was a multimillionaire. Not only did he own this building, he also owned the Lindy Box building that we're paying now to have torn down and demolished. My problem with this whole deal is the fact that not only did you own this building, the Lindy Box building, you also owned the Navy building out there right on the river, right before you go out to the Lower Ninth Ward.
And we're talking about late developer Joe Yeager.
Mr. Yeager, who had multi-millions of dollars. I have a problem, not because of the fact that he has passed, God rest his soul. My problem is, why is the city now coming to the public to say, oh, yeah, you need to pay this amount of money to demolish these buildings?
JP, stay in my pocket.
My question is, I don't know. JP, and I think that everybody needs to look at this. Why aren't they going to his estate? I'm talking about Mr. Yeager's estate.
The estate of late developer Joe Yeager.
To get the money to demolish these properties. We don't own these properties. His estate does. We are going to be taking public money to demolish a private entity. No, sir. $20 to $30 million, and you keep telling us that we don't have the money to do, but yet we keep inciting putting all this money into these people. That's how the rich keep getting richer, and the poor have to keep paying all these millions of dollars for BS. You need to tear down this building using his estate money. The Lindy Box building as well. Why are we paying to destroy this building and nobody's asking any questions? That money is public money, and we all sit up there like, I'm so glad that thing's coming down. I'm glad it's coming down too if you live in that neighborhood, but I'd rather know that it's coming down because of the fact that, guess what? It came out of his estate. He's got millions. The worth of that property, the worth of that land, the worth of that land that's over there by the tall building, y'all might remember this. As a matter of fact, the person that was looking at that land because of the tall tower was Donald Trump to put a daggone hotel there. And he said no.
Yeah, you know, J.P. Morrell, his statement is partly correct as a practical matter, but incomplete as a legal and policy matter. The city may have to advance the $20 million to $30 million needed for demolition because it cannot wait indefinitely while a dangerous building poses a threat to the public. That's the legal standpoint.
We done already waited 20 years.
Louisiana law says demolition is supposed to be performed at the property owner's expense, though. Okay?
Yes.
So the city can record the cost as a lien, charge interest, and after non-payment, force the sale of the property. That's Louisiana Revised Statute 334752. The real risk is that the cleared land may be worth substantially less than the cost to demolish that building, leaving the city holding the bag for paying for a demolition that it can't recoup the cost on.
But you can't say that. You know why? Because if they wanted to really say that, they should have said the same thing about the Hard Rock building.
Correct, which they did make the owner of the Hard Rock pay those demolition costs.
So why are we, God, again, I hope that everybody understands, I am not trying to be one of those devils against Mr. Yeager. But I'm looking at myself and said, this man was multimillionaire.
This is another bad deal on the part of Mr. Red Slippers. Okay. JP Morrell says the city it may ultimately have to pay for this, but dude, it is the property owner's responsibility. It is still privately owned land.
Mr. Red Slippers, you're losing your touch.
The owner's responsibility does not disappear. Plaza Towers is not public property.
And neither is the Boggs building. We're talking about we're going to make that into a place where we can collect water. 4 million gallons of water. Okay. Are you trying to tell me that this is what we're going to do with this building too? We're going to collect water? What are we going to do? I don't want to have none of you all paying to demolish a building that's privately owned with public money. It just sounds terrible.
And let me just say this. If Plaza Tower had become extraordinarily valuable, if its value had increased over the last 20 years that it's been vacant, would the owner have shared that increased value with the New Orleans taxpayers? The answer is no. He would not have. His estate would have taken that extra value and it would have gone to the estate.
Mm-hmm.
Then why should taxpayers be required to absorb the entire demolition cost when the private investment has failed?
Yeah. Let's take this call. Joe Nathan.
Hey, how you doing, my man?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Good, man. Can that man please just try to get my garbage picked up twice a week and stop worrying about stuff?
Put me on the list, too.
Yeah. Secondly, though, on a serious note, I saw something on the news where they were doing a visual for that kid who fell to his death in that Plaza Tower.
Yes.
I get it. I understand. That happened at that school stadium where he went.
Mm-hmm.
Gerard, you know I'm an educator as well, right?
Right.
We go through trainings. Schools are really not allowed to hold vigils for things such as suicide because of the traumatic pressure it can put on students and the fear of idolizing or making it seem like something cool to do. We don't know the full investigation yet if that kid actually fell or what. So I think that school kind of jumped the gun with that before they found out everything. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I feel horrible that kid died like that. And he was an African-American young man. I don't know if you all knew that or not. Not that it makes a difference, because any teenager that dies like that, that's horrible. But I was just a little disturbed by that, seeing that big vigil being held for that kid. And like I said, that's a public high school where he goes. We're trained. We get training every year on that through a program called Safe Schools. And I believe every school district throughout the state does that. That's something that should not be done. Now, I don't know who organized it or how it was approved or whatever, but I was a little concerned about that.
I'm expecting some sort of lawsuit to be filed on the part of that young man's family, because this is what we call under Louisiana law an attractive nuisance, a conspicuous abandoned tower that predictably draws young explorers while concealing lethal internal hazards. It meets the definition of an attractive nuisance. And so, I'm expecting to see the estate of Jacques St. Anne, the 17-year-old who plunged to his death. I'm expecting them to sue the estate of Joe Yeager, for his death. And I'm sure that's going to come, now the statute of limitations in Louisiana is 2 years, but I'm sure we'll be seeing that. But maybe the city needs to get on its job of collecting this money from the Yeager estate before these suits are filed, because the death of this kid could deplete, if a jury awards substantial money, could deplete the estate's funding to be able to pay for the demolition.
Yeah. And this guy, he owns several properties. That power plant over there on the riverfront.
Right.
I believe he had a hand in the.
Didn't somebody fall over there too?
I believe so, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. And that estate has made money because they film movies.
Right. They
in
do
that
do
power
the
plant.
filming over there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of unanswered questions that I have, though, for Council President Morrell. I need to know, what is the legal owner's documented ability to pay? Has he explored that at all? Because he's asking us to pay 20 to 30 million, but he hasn't said anything about the solvency of the estate. Has the Yeager estate or ownership entity produced financial statements, showing whether or not they have the ability to pay for the land, the property they own? What is the proposed sale price under the current purchase agreement? Because there is one that's pending right now. What is the independently appraised value of the property before and after demolition? He hasn't said anything about that. He hasn't said whether there's any liens or mortgages on the property. He hasn't stated whether any insurance coverage exists. He hasn't stated whether the city will record the complete demolition cost as a lien. He hasn't said if the city's going to force a sale if the owner fails to reimburse them. There's a lot of unanswered questions that people need to pose to him before he just passes that bill on to us.
Right. I don't get it, man. Like I said, I just need him to get the garbage picked up twice a week. I mean, this is crazy because considering that in a cash-strapped city, right? You sound like the Trumpites, right? Helping billionaires stay billionaires.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Millionaires, whatever he is,
Exactly.
Or his estate is, because the man has passed away. But his family, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it just doesn't make sense. And I thought he was an intelligent guy, but it doesn't seem very much so that he is. Even consider something.
If they were deemed to be insolvent, that would be another thing, right? But I don't think that they are, and I certainly don't think that JP has done his due diligence to determine their insolvency before trying to pass the bill on to us. So that's all I'm saying here. I think that more research and due diligence needs to occur to determine whether the legal owner has the ability to pay before they just say the taxpayers have to pay it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just going down a rabbit hole that I, as a citizen, lifelong citizen of this city, is willing to go down that rabbit hole, And Mr. Red Bottoms, as you call him, man, I don't know. Maybe we need to buy him some new shoes, man. Maybe the shoes making him think wrong.
Maybe they're too tight and it's affecting his ability to think.
Yeah. Them Italian shoes don't fit us brothers.
No, they're not very comfortable. Those red bottom shoes are not comfortable. You may have just gotten down to the bottom of what the real problem is. Because everybody's uncomfortable when their feet are uncomfortable. So maybe that's the problem.
Yes,
that's right. That's right.
I don't look at this as maybe a mistake or somebody doing due diligence. And the reason why I have to is because there's a level of trust that I got to say, Joe Nathan, that, to me, in my opinion, went away a long time ago. And it's almost like, believe me now, believe what I'm telling you, believe what I'm saying. But there's some issues that you haven't discussed with people. And you're telling us that here's the cost of demoing this building, and y'all should know it's going to cost $23 million to $30 million to demo this building. But you've had years to demo this building, and this thing has not happened yet. But now the gentleman that owns it, it's in his name, it's on his estate, has passed, and you're telling me that you want to take city money that we're supposedly, I told you we got money, that we're supposedly not having to demo a building. I need everybody to look at that and say, oh, where are we getting the money from? Don't raise nothing else so that we can pay for a demo of a building. Let's talk about getting this money from that estate of a multimillionaire that privately owns this building to tear it down.
And this goes back to a show we did a few weeks ago. We were talking about blighted property in the city or deteriorating housing stock. and code enforcement not pursuing fines that were hefty enough against property owners for leaving this deteriorating housing stock around, right? Same thing goes for this building. This building has been in a state of disrepair for 20 years. If code enforcement had been enforcing the code for the last 20 years and fining the estate of Joe Yeager for leaving this abandoned building there that serves as a public nuisance and an eyesore, maybe they would have demolished it a long time ago.
Right.
This is
And
a
you've
code
had 8
enforcement
years.
problem.
Yeah. You've had 8 years dealing with this problem, looking at this problem.
Right.
So,
And when you say the same thing, I would say, and maybe I'm too late in bringing this up and saying it, but I would say the same thing about the Lindy Box building that they're already breaking down. I know the people in the neighborhood are like, yay, but I'm sitting back and saying to myself, where did the money come? Where did it come from?
Right.
That
Because
we're
that's going to
using.
be a special. That's going to be a special demolition because they talk about the.
But remember
hazards, the
something, that
asbestos,
building
and all
is
that.
owned by Joe Yeager. It's a private property.
Right.
I understand that the city does have a demolition order in place. The city has obtained judicial authority to demolish Plaza Tower, and they're saying that the owner has 18 months to sell it or demolish the property. But if that deadline expires, the city should not grant another extension merely because the proposed deal remains, it falls apart. They need to get a solution to this. Because now the city is on notice that it does constitute a public health threat, right?
Yes.
And they need to do what they need to do to secure it. But I think that also should be a part of the fine to the owner for leaving this blighted building in the middle of the city, serving as an attractive nuisance.
Right. Because as Mr. Robinson put it so eloquently in his piece, he talked about this. Deaths, fires have been happening over the last several years in that building.
Right.
So it's nothing new.
Right.
Nothing
It's
new.
only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Is pieces falling off of it? I remember back some time ago, a piece fell off.
Absolutely. It's been an eyesore for quite some time. They need to address it, and they need to address
It's
it
been that way
swiftly.
so long. Like I say, I don't remember when it was in use. That's how long it's been. And hey, here's what it is, though. But good conversation. Thank y'all for listening.
All right, Joe Nathan. Thank you, brother. Talk to you in a minute.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great weekend.
You
Take
too,
care.
man. All right, more coming up in a minute, yo. Everybody hold tight.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris.
The $40 trillion is a big number. It is smaller when we look at the publicly traded amount because our Social Security funds and other government entities hold a substantial amount. And what we're going to do, we're going to have to grow our way out of this.
That was Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent answering reporters as they asked him questions about one of the biggest financial milestones in U.S. history. The national debt just crossed $40 trillion. Faster than economists projected. He pushed back on part of that number, arguing it's inflated by tariff refunds the courts forced the administration to pay out. He told reporters he expects tariff revenue under Section 301 to bounce back to last year's levels or higher, and laid blame on the deficit the administration says it inherited from President Biden. And at this pace, watchdogs say we could hit $50 trillion in just 6 years. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
What can a nation with the blues learn from a blues people? Black America has a lot to say, especially given the current condition of our country. Every weekday afternoon, one show creates a space for us to be heard. It's the Tavis Smiley Show, weekdays, 1 to 4 p.m. on WBOK. Real people, real talk, real issues, real solutions, politics, culture, community, the conversations that matter most to you, hosted by me, Tavis Smiley. So tune in to the Tavis Smiley Show, 1 to 4 p.m. weekdays right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is Gerard Stevens.
And I'm Suzette Bagneris.
Each weekday from 4 until 6 p.m., join us for the Reality Check.
We talk about news in and around New Orleans each weekday, 4 to 6 p.m. online.
And 12:30 a.m. and 107.1 FM.
The Reality Check on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. and 107.1 FM.
What if you could pull up a chair at the same table as your doctors? Join me, Kimber White Dupree, as I welcome board-certified physicians, Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlonda Rayno Harris. For Table Rounds, we're bringing those meaningful medical conversations out of the hospital and into our community. Health topics that matter most, from the health disparities and menopause to mental health and much more. Table Rounds with Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlonda Rayno Harris. Every fourth Monday at 10 a.m. on the front porch, because better conversations lead to better health.
We are the rhythm of the streets.
The flavor in every dish.
The story in every song.
We are New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation.
We help artists build the future of New Orleans.
Because when the culture thrives, our people thrive.
Every note, every brushstroke, every dish is a door opening new possibilities for those who carry our traditions forward. And when we open that door, the whole city moves forward. For New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation, culture is our open door.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another open enrollment update. Who do I have on the line today?
Hi, you're speaking with Vanessa Scott of BSG of Louisiana.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is open enrollment?
The open enrollment period is for Medicare members that want to change from one plan to another.
Why is open enrollment so important?
Because a lot of people missed out on the annual enrollment period. So they need to have a one-on-one review.
And if you have questions or concerns about your Medicare plans, what should you do?
You just pick up the phone, call 504-621-3687. We even come out to your house. Zero cost to them.
Get with BSG of Louisiana for your Medicare review.
For church groups, senior communities, or disability organizations, call 504-621-3687. We are an independent insurance agency providing information about Medicare-related insurance plans. We are not connected or endorsed by Medicare or the U.S. government.
Uptown, downtown, wherever you are, keep it locked in to WBOK.
Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
Welcome back. It is Friday. You know, G, as we close today's show, I just want people to remember what we're here to do, to talk honestly about the issues that matter to the citizens of New Orleans. And we're going to ask the difficult questions. We're going to follow the money. We're going to challenge the official narrative and demand accountability from the people and the institutions entrusted with serving this community. That's the responsibility of Black media. We must cover the stories that others overlook and amplify voices others ignore and examine public decisions through the eyes of the people most affected by them. So sometimes you're going to agree with us and sometimes you won't, and that's okay.
So why are you addressing it?
I'm just saying, it's okay. You know, so I like the fact that people are engaged, whether they agree with us or disagree with us. Because this is your city, these are your institutions, it's your money, and the decisions do affect your family and your neighborhood and your future. So stay informed, stay engaged, keep asking questions, and keep talking back. Doesn't bother me.
You ready for me?
You can go right ahead, but I'm just saying, I lost 3 minutes to the conversation, but not $3.
Okay.
You go right ahead.
So we are talk show hosts. We make opinions. Some of them are geared in facts. Some of them can end up being personal. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm right all the time. Doesn't necessarily mean you're right all the time, or the listener. Whether I make you mad, I make you smile, or I make you agree with us. Either or. That's what a talk show does. You don't like it? As a person, I need you to know that I'm a grown-ass man, dog. I'm a grown-ass man. And if you don't like it, you have the choice of turning your damn radio off. You have the choice of turning your stream off. You have the choice of picking up the phone and agreeing or picking up the phone and disagreeing. But I want everybody to know, at the end of the day, because of this show and what you think, I sleep well at night.
I do too.
I don't want you to. No, let me finish. I don't want you, the listener, to get conflicted in the sense of if you think that you pick up the phone, call, say something that's derelict, say something you think that is going to get to me,
or get on the live
or
stream,
get on the live stream like this idiot that's on here right now,
and criticize other listeners.
Yeah, criticize us and call us all out our name. I really don't care, because all I can see you doing is sitting behind a computer with a cowboy hat on and a diaper.
Not a diaper.
Yeah, I really don't care. And I don't even want to acknowledge it. I think that if I don't acknowledge you or I don't say anything to you, that probably hurts you more.
I just want to say, I really don't care if people call in and disagree. That's what freedom of speech is. Even to those who disagree with me, I thank you for listening. I thank you for participating. I thank you for continuing to make WBOK the place where New Orleans comes to have conversations that matter, and the station that you listen to all day long.
But understand something. You all learn a whole lot here that you wouldn't know if it wasn't for us. And there's a lot of people that depend on us to make sure that we bring that smoke each and every day. And that's what we're going to continue to do. Now, my last part of this, and probably won't discuss it anymore, is the fact that you, as the listener, either take part or you end up in the position that we're in right now. Because a lot of us learn a whole bunch from other folks. And I learned from you all. Other folks. You'd be surprised on the number of people that don't know me, don't know Suzette, but they want to know us because they're involved and they want to make sure that they have this outlet to get the truth out, because we get doo-dooed upon a whole lot and a whole lot of stuff that don't even make the air because of the fact that, hell, I need to make sure that when I walk out the door, I don't have to turn around or make sure that somebody's following us. I want you all to understand something. There has been a lot of stuff that has been proven to be true here. Not everything, but a whole lot of it has been proven to be true, and you've learned a whole lot from us. You want to wrap it up? Because, we got about four
I'm just going to tell y'all, I'm going to live my best life regardless. And I really do appreciate this platform, though. I mean, we've been having a lot of meetings over the last few weeks because we are really working hard with the new general manager to do some great things here at this station. And it's because we believe in the mission of the station. We believe in the purpose of one of the oldest and longest standing Black radio stations in the country. We believe in the community and what this radio station means to it. I think that Black voices matter, Black issues matter, and we're not going to be silenced when people from outside of our community come onto the platform of this station to try to discourage us from telling stories from our perspective. We're going to continue to do it, and we invite you to listen. We invite you to participate, because I think it is important to know what another side to the story is, to hear how other people think.
All right, let's talk about this weekend. This weekend, especially on tomorrow, let's talk about today, because some people may not have heard that our very own freedom fighter, Big Duck Jerome Smith, passed today. We'll keep you updated. You'll probably hear in the next couple of days a lot of conversation that happened on this radio station, as well as some of the interviews that Big Duck did over his lifetime. We'll have a lot of folks that knew him to come on and talk about him as well. Tomorrow, we're going to be over at the Hilton for Michelle Cooper with the Noah's Ark, hoping that will help a lot of NICUs in the surrounding area get stuff for babies that may be a little premature, have some other issues.
Black maternal
We're going to be
health.
there, yeah. And then we'll be at Wendell's premiere of his brand new documentary movie,
They Fight.
That is going to happen on tomorrow night. We'll be on the red carpet at 5, but again, that's going to happen at 7. And then on Sunday, we're going to be over at First Pilgrims. I'll be over there with tickets to the NAACP banquet. So if you want one, come on by. Come on by and see one and get you one.
Please support the NAACP.
Yeah.
It's very important. It's a vitally important organization.
Yeah. And that's it. That's what we're doing this weekend. So we're rolling. We got a lot of new stuff coming to y'all. I appreciate everybody for having us this week because we've been to a lot of meetings this week. So, all right, we got a lot of stuff going on. So get ready, y'all. Just get ready. That's going to wrap it up for us. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Watch out for the severe weather.
Thank you, Henny Penny.
Anytime. Henny Jenny. Y'all have a great weekend. And thank you, Nyron, for being on the board. What you do, brother? You did your thing. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend.